Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. As you can see, a new guest for Maximize Monday joining me this week. I have Lauren S. with me. You probably know her because she's like LinkedIn famous already. So very excited to have her on the show. We're going to talk about what it is that she does, not just on LinkedIn, but beyond that. So looking forward to getting some insight from her on in terms of what's worked to build the network and what's worked to build her career. But as you know, the format of the show, we typically start off with motivators. So, what's motivating me this week? The main thing this coming weekend, I have my annual camping trip. Last year, I was not able to make it with my college friends because I was quarantined. We were in the middle of a pandemic and things happened. So, I didn't get to go last year. So, this year, I'm fingers crossed healthy enough to attend. So, the main thing is just getting away for a long weekend. Couple days off work to reconnect with some friends. Next thing motivating me is as you can probably tell with the attire and everything. And if you follow my LinkedIn, I'm pretty big into sports, and this is the time of year where Philly sports just kind of crush my soul. So we'll see what happens, but at the same time, it is still exciting with playoff season coming up for the Union. Maybe the Phillies. We'll see basketball season starting, football season in full swing. So just excited overall. Just the cool weather. We have a TV out on the back deck now, so I can like sit out and not like be miserable in the sun and heat anymore. I can like be cool sitting outside and watching sports. So looking forward to that. And with the cool weather comes October. We usually go all out when it comes to Halloween decorations. So this weekend we are pulling everything out, getting everything up and festive. Nothing too scary because my daughter doesn't really handle like the decorations that pop out at you just yet. So I figure when she's like 6 or 7, we can start to explore that. But three's probably a little too soon for that type of stuff. So for now, it's like inflatable Disney stuff and things that she tolerates. But we're still going to deck out the house this weekend. So looking forward to that. So goals for the week ahead, with it being the short week, that means I have packed my schedule for the 3 days that I'm working Monday through Wednesday. So packed with interviews, just making sure that I'm getting quality candidates in front of our hiring managers. I have some interviews I'm very excited about coming up this week that I'm looking forward to presenting them for the open positions. And as well, I always like to prepare for the out of office. I have a pretty dynamite team that supports me. My one coworker always has my back when I'm out for the week. So just making sure the notes are set up for him as I'm going to be off. And then the wins, I did have a week where I wasn't able to fill any positions. This week, I'm back in the win column in that role with a closed role. So looking to just build off of that momentum or see if my coworker can close out some roles for me while I'm off, which would be fine with me too. So that's it for me. Lauren, what's going on in your world this week? What's motivating you for the week ahead?
Yeah, definitely. Next week I'm super motivated. Work related, I have some candidates in interviews for a role. So I have three candidates in interviews. It's my second week. So that's phenomenal to get people submitted and actually interviewing. So I'm super excited to help coach some people through that process, hopefully see them move forward. There was supposed to be a football game this weekend. I'm a UCF alumni. I have season tickets for that. So I was supposed to go to Orlando. As most people know, that hurricane hit. So it's flooded and that's being postponed until next Wednesday, which is also my father's birthday. So I'm super excited. Next week, I'm actually going to get to go to that game on Wednesday with him. We'll get to celebrate birthdays, which is like a nice little silver lining to that
Mhm.
hurricane cloud that came through. And then starting tomorrow, so kind of next week for me, next new month, right? Starting tomorrow, we're starting a new accountability group for October so that people can learn how to post consistently on LinkedIn and kind of grow their brand and all of those things. So yeah, those are kind of my three things that I'm super motivated about. And then my goals for next week. I have a goal to sign a new account. I've already signed one account. So my goal is to sign a new account. I did cold call a CEO yesterday. I won't name drop you, but if you were watching this, I cold called a CEO yesterday. So I'm going to follow up with that literally as soon as I get off this call. See if we can sign an account next week. And then one of my people who are interviewing, we're going to push them through to that next round. So those are my two goals. I'm super excited for those things to come to fruition. Work hard for that to happen. And then my win is that I signed that new client. So this was my second week at my new company, and I signed a new client. So now I'm hiring SDRs in Seattle.
Awesome, awesome. So, when I reached out to you, we kind of talked about, discussing what got you into recruiting. Because for some people, that just kind of is something they fell into. Some people are like, I really want to get into recruiting. So, for you, when you made that transition, was this like an eye on the prize? This is what I want to do, or was this kind of like a came to fruition because you were exploring some other opportunities and this jumped out to you?
So before recruiting, I was in sales. Recruiting is sales. I always tell people
Mhm.
that recruiting is real sales. I was in sales before this, and honestly, I was expecting to stay in some type of sales capacity, but and to be fair, I might just not know that many people. But I don't know many recruiters who are like, I grew up wanting to be a recruiter,
Right.
unless their parents were a recruiter or they were involved and had some exposure to the industry. So realistically, I was working with a recruiter for a sales role, and like that was kind of the idea, right? Reach out to a recruiter for a sales role. I was looking through LinkedIn and finding recruiters that I thought I would want to work with. And I found a recruiter I really liked. And then it was like, hey, do you want to work here? And it was like, I've never really thought about it. So had conversations, probably didn't do as much research as I should have, right? But it was exciting and new and fun. And then I got into it and I loved it. But I definitely recommend doing a lot of research on recruiting, understand what you're getting into. Are you an internal recruiter? Are you an agency recruiter? What does that look like? Do you know what account management is? Do you know how to sell and get your own clients? I mean, there's so many moving pieces. So definitely, as they say, what's the expression? You drink from a fire hose, right?
Mhm.
That was definitely my life when I got into recruiting, but I had already been in sales. And to me, recruiting brought kind of like the game back. Like it was
Okay.
fun again. Sales had
Yeah.
kind of gotten to the point where I was like, okay. But recruiting was a challenge. So yeah, working with a recruiter for something else and then stumbling into maybe you should work for us.
So now that you are on the other side of the desk and the actual recruiter, what are some of the things that jump out to you as what you enjoy most about the position that kind of surprised you as you didn't really anticipate that this would be what you loved most about the position when you started?
So I didn't realize how much recruiting is a long game
Mhm.
when I first started. When I first started, it was very much, okay, you're going to talk to people, you're going to help them get a new role, and you're going to move on. And that's really not what recruiting is. And I didn't understand that. I was in sales. You're going to buy my product. I'm going to go find somebody else to buy my product. We're going to keep going.
Mhm.
So I didn't understand that I need to build relationships and form relationships with people who I might not have any type of role for you right now. This might not be a relationship that I can make money off of in the next 30 days. Cause let's be honest, I'm a recruiter who works for commission. Like, if I'm not placing you, I'm not making any money. It's literally not going to help my paycheck at all. Like,
Mhm.
I want to keep these lights on. So I have to do that. But you have to also understand the relationships in the long game. I have people that I talk to 3 days into my recruiting career that are now bigwigs at Amazon, and they're like, "Hey, Lauren, we might have a job for you." And it's like, dude, I'm never gonna have to worry about it because I built
Right.
these relationships. If my company fell apart tomorrow, I know I have 8 people who would hire me because I interviewed them when they were looking for work. And
Mhm.
now they're in a position that I could call them and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna drop any names, but hey, so and so, I want to fill your head count. What does that look like? How can we have that conversation?" And they'll connect me because I built that relationship.
Okay, gotcha. So let's kind of expand on the relationships that you've built here, because just wanted to touch on the LinkedIn presence that you have and the network that you've grown through that. A lot of that has been through your creation of videos, and I think we've kind of seen that video is taking over all forms of social media. So no wonder it came to LinkedIn as well. So did you kind of know that early on that you were going to rely on video to build your brand, or was that something that you just saw as this is getting more traction than other things I'm doing? I want to continue to roll with that since I'm comfortable doing it.
So when I first got into recruiting, I worked for a recruiting agency that we were filming 50 videos a day,
Okay.
and getting in front of the camera and not being with people anymore, it felt personal, right? I'm working at home, I'm in an office by myself. But if I can film something and send you a video, it's like I'm showing up in your living room. It's like, hi, it's me. I'm actually here. It's not text. And I'm not doing something that's got like a bunch of words on the screen. And like, this is me in my office. This is what it would look like if you sat down and I didn't have my kids' toys on that table. Like, we could sit on that at that table and have a conversation. This is real life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I saw some videos on LinkedIn when I first started, and some of them were very gimmicky in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I would find like little ways to repurpose my funny videos from Instagram or something, like my reels that I was posting for Insta or TikTok or whatever. You find a way to repurpose those in funny ways towards recruiting, because let's be honest, LinkedIn people are, it's serious, it's serious, it's
Yeah.
job,
Right.
it's heavy. Like one of my
Mhm.
hashtags I use all the time is laughing on LinkedIn. Like we need to laugh too. Like that's got to be part of your life. You have to be happy. Don't you
Yeah.
want to be? I want to be happy at work. Um, so I started finding ways to incorporate humor into my videos and just showing up and talking to people. And my videos did well, but in the beginning, I wasn't using my own voice. I was kind of like using those reels and those templates, and it
Okay.
why am I not talking? Like I send all these people videos. That's how I built my presence, was sending people videos and DMs. I
Mhm.
would come find you. And the SaaS community embraced me. Thank God. A few people in the SaaS community really reached out and loved on me, and that really helped me. But I would send them a video and I would be very straightforward. I'd be like, yo, I'm a recruiter. I don't know about this space. I want to learn. I'm not going to pitch you. I'm not going to ask you to do anything. How do I get 10 minutes? Like, what would it take?
Mhm.
And for the first month, I didn't focus on placing candidates. I focused on building relationships.
Okay.
In a month, I grew like 8,000 followers. Like it was quick. It
Yeah.
was quick. And I never had a viral post. I didn't have anything go like over 100,000 views or anything like that. So
Mhm.
to me, that means my content's actually hitting. It's hitting the people who need to see it.
Right.
You could go viral and I could have 30,000 followers tomorrow. And would it be awesome? Yeah. But those 30,000 people probably aren't going to benefit from my day to day content.
Right. Right.
My network who are going to benefit from the day to day, who I can have 1,000 really engaged people. I don't want to have 30,000 people who, Lauren, cool, like that's
Right.
not what
Yeah.
it's.
Absolutely.
So people who are chasing like the clout on LinkedIn, like that's not what it's about. You got to post for one person. Posting for one person is what I think really like helped me. The videos I try to talk to one person, like this is going to help you. If this helps you, it will help 30 other people, because we are all people. We're all going through the same thing. It's all
Mhm.
relative. Your transferable skills, just how you think those are transferable to other jobs, we're all going through the same situations and the same emotions. Like it's different. It's
Mhm.
different. Some are heavier than others, but we're all going through it. And we need to be a little bit more like human in that understanding.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So then someone who's talking to candidates on a daily basis and doing a lot of interviews, there are a lot of job seekers still on LinkedIn looking for that opportunity. So what piece of advice is someone that does this constantly would you give to them? What makes people when you're interviewing stand out to you and make you want to move forward, gets you really excited about presenting them as a candidate to your hiring managers?
So there's a few things. If you're trying to get somebody's attention, meet them where they're at. So if you see they're super active on LinkedIn, get super active on their LinkedIn. If that's where they're showing up all the time and you can tell that's where they're putting in their energy, show up, make it known that that's what you want to do. But if you really want to stand out, it's so funny. I just had a session with someone and I told her, I was like, you need to go connect with the people with the title and the job you already want, so that when you walk in the interview with Mary or whoever it is, and you walk in
Mhm.
that interview, you can be like, "Oh, I talked to Joe and Ryan. I know these are the issues you guys were having last quarter. This is what I like." You can walk in and sound educated, and if you sound like you did a little bit of work before the interview, how much work are you going to do if you come work for me? So
Right.
that's kind of show, like I try to like tell people, like I'm not telling you to go do a project. I'm not telling you to write a 120-day game plan of how I'm going to fix your company and hand it over. But if you can show that I'm going to do a little bit of work before I walk in here and talk to you, Sam, she talks about this. Show me you know me. Like it's so important. If you can do a little bit of work and then walk in the door and you meet them on the right platform. Like if I find somebody who's tweeting all the time, guess what? I'm on Twitter, like, hey, like, cause you're gonna respond to me. That's where you show up.
Right.
Want to come to you. They want to be catered to. They want you to stroke their ego. They want to feel important. Like all the things we all want to feel and like feel good. Do those things to the people that you want to hire you. People hire people they like.
Yeah. Easy enough. Easy enough.
It's not easy, right? Like, and I'll
Right.
be straight. It's hard. It is a process, and I don't want people to get discouraged. Like Lauren says, it's so simple. It's not simple.
Right.
But if you do these things, you put yourself in the top 3 or 5.
Mhm.
And then you actually get the chance to show your skills. A lot of people don't get to the interview. They're like, why don't I get to the interview? It's like, well, we got to do the work to get to the interview.
Yeah,
The interview
absolutely.
is the hardest part right now, right?
100%. 100%. All right. So beyond just connecting with you on LinkedIn, what are I know you use some hashtags to try to promote what you do. What are some tags that some people here on LinkedIn can follow to get some advice from you and follow along with what you're doing? Possibly sign up for some things that you're doing as well.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, we do a monthly accountability group. It's free to join. I keep it small, 10 or 15 people. That's a daily prompt. So you know what to talk about on LinkedIn. It teaches you how to engage, how to pre-write your content. Number one thing people tell me when I say, why aren't you posting on LinkedIn? They're like, I don't know what to say. So join this group. You have no excuse. It tells you what to say every day. It's completely free. All I ask is that you help me understand the numbers and how much you've grown throughout the process. So once a week, you fill out a form so we can track your growth, and I can help you if you get shadow banned or whatever these people are all worried about these days. And
Right.
we can kind of talk through the growth. So I do that once a month. We have October starting tomorrow. And then follow hashtag lessons with Lauren S. And you'll see all the new jobs I post. I have an exclusive job list. DM me, connect with me. I'd be happy to share it with you. I'm exclusively hiring in the US and Canada right now. And yeah, I just got a new SaaS account with 20 open headcount in Seattle. So let's go, baby.
All right. All right. Well, Lauren, I appreciate your time this week. I know it was a busy one for you, so taking the time to join me on this means a lot. If you haven't connected, not following Lauren yet, make sure you're doing that, and we will see you next Monday.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.